So it's really...
I think that the normal procedures that we would have expected in terms of the way in which the judgment was to be delivered and the postponements at sort of cliffhanger level are very unusual. The going of the legal teams into the judges' chambers during the giving of the verdict is also unusual, and I think most importantly is the fact that the judges made some findings, particularly of those relating to whether he intended to kill Reeva Steenkamp or not, as quite surprising. The legal community is quite disquieted at the fact that she's found him effectively not guilty on the charge of murder because he didn't have intention, and the legal community, and I'm part of that community, so I speak for myself as well, we're concerned that she seems to have got the legal test for culpable homicide mixed up with the legal test for what we call legal intention or dolus eventualis. So she's found that he was negligent, but the test that she's applied is that she has found effectively that he intended the outcome of his conduct. And if he intended the outcome of his conduct, that constitutes murder. So we're at a stage in her judgment where it appears that some of the factual findings are going to be challenged, and many of us feel that she's made incorrect factual findings, and then the application of the law itself seems to have been misunderstood and possibly misapplied. He's going to be convicted of culpable homicide, which is always the baseline in this case. There's no minimum or maximum prescribed sentences. It's totally at the discretion of the judge. Bearing in mind other circumstances, his disability, loss of reputation, loss of income, there's a very compelling argument, and legal precedent as well, it's a very compelling argument that he won't go and serve time in jail. We have a number of precedents where similar high-profile cases involving sports people, where they've killed somebody negligently, they've been given a fine, a suspended sentence, and no term of imprisonment. So it looks like he's going to get some sort of fine, suspended sentence. The firearm offences, they're relatively minor offences in the overall context of the case. Although the ammunition possession charge in theory on paper is a serious offence with up to 15 years imprisonment, in practice for first offences of that nature one is normally given a fine. So I think overall he's looking at a period of imprisonment suspended coupled with a monetary fine on all of the counts that he's found guilty of. I don't think that he's going to be found guilty on all of the firearm offences. I think there's at least one that the state didn't prove beyond reasonable doubt, but the other two they did, and most certainly they proved the possession of ammunition charge. This was always going to be a showcase for South Africa. All of us had hoped that there would be a positive impression created out of the entire trial process, and I think we're at a stage now where the positivity is dissipating very quickly. I think there's a lot of uncertainty as to the correctness of the judgment, and I think more importantly is the question that the public are asking about our society's tolerance for crime. We have a problem in this country with violent crime. This sends the wrong message about the way that we deal with violent crime.